All right. In this video, we're going to go over how to do the unit conversions since we ran out of time. So here we go. A car is traveling 80 kilometers an hour. What is this in meters per second? So we did this one in class, but just in case, right, the way to set this up is it's 80 kilometers per hour. So that's 80 kilometers. Kind of extend that out like that per 1 hour. Okay, so the kilometers go on the top, the hours go on the bottom, and we're trying to get to meters per second. So basically we need to change the kilometers, we need to change those into meters, and we need to change the hours into seconds. So first up, let's try to change the kilometers into meters. So 1 kilometer is equal to 1,000 meters. Okay, so that's just a conversion that I hope that you need to know basically. So right there's 100 centimeters in a meter. There's 1 meter in a kilometer. Oh, sorry, 1,000. There's 1,000 meters in 1 kilometer. Those are the pretty standard ones that you would need to know. So then, right, so your kilometers cancel. So right now we got meters on the top, so that's good, that's what we want. So the next thing we need to do is change our hours into minutes. So 1 hour is equal to 60 minutes, okay? So I put the 1 hour on the top because I need the hours to cancel. I put the minutes on the bottom, and then 1 minute is equal to 60 seconds. I do that because I need the minutes to cancel, so something like that. So each column is the conversion rate that you know. The next thing, so I've done it, right? I got meters on the top and I got seconds on the bottom. So I'm in meters per second now, so I just multiply across the top. So that's going to give 80,000 meters over 60 times 60 is 3,600 seconds. So that's going to give you, I believe, 22.2 meters per second as your answer. So, what happened? There we go. Cool. Moving on to the next one. Let me just verify that with my calculator. Apologies for that. 3,600. Yep, 22.2. Okay, next one. So we want to change from miles per hour into kilometers per hour. So 60 miles in 1 hour. That's going to be, right, again, keep the hours. I just got to change the miles into kilometers. So 1 mile equals 1.6 kilometers. Multiply along the top, so 60 times by 1.6. So just, right, it's a fraction, basically. 60 times by 1.6 is going to give you 96. Right, the miles have canceled, so now I just have kilometers on the top, kilometers, and 1 times by 1 gives me 1 hour. So 96 kilometers an hour. Taking the next one, take 60 miles an hour and go to meters per second. So 60 miles 1 hour. So this time we have to be able to get the miles into meters and the hours into seconds. So we got a bit more work to do this time. I don't know the conversion rate between miles and meters, but I do know the conversion rate between miles and kilometers, and I also know the conversion rate between kilometers and and meters. So that's how I'm going to do this. I'm going to go ahead and basically repeat step part A. And okay, so now I've got the miles are gone and I'm into kilometers per hour. Then I'm going to change the 1 kilometer into meters. And now I'm going to deal with the hour. I'm going to change 1 hour I'm going to change that into minutes. So 1 minute, 60 seconds. Okay, so along the top, if we look at what units are left along the top, I got meters on the top, and I got seconds left on the bottom. So I'm in meters per second now. So I just need to multiply everything along the top. So 60 times by 1.6 times by 1,000. So I'm going to get my calculator out that. 60 times by 1.6 times by 1,000 is 96,000 meters over 3,600 seconds. 60 times by 60. So 96,000 divided by 600 equals 26.7 meters per second. Okay. Feet per second. Now, it's not going to be useful for me to have it in kilometers or meters because feet is, like standard units. So I don't want to be changing into metric units. So I'm actually going to go straight from miles to feet. So I got 60 miles in 1 hour. So I got to go from miles to feet, and I got to go from hours to seconds. So deal with this. So 1 mile, and you might not remember this, but this is a conversion rate that I would typically expect you to remember or to know is 5,280 feet. So, right, this is why their standard system is so stupid. 5,280, what a dumb number. So now we got our miles into feet. The next thing we got to do is get our hours into seconds. So 1 hour equals 60 minutes. Hours are going to cancel there. So I'm in feet per minute right now. I got to get my minutes into seconds. So 1 minute equals 60 seconds. Again, the minute goes on the top because I need it to cancel with the minute that's there. Conversion rates are in the columns. So now I just multiply things across the top. So 60 times by 5,280. So 60 times by 5,280. And then times by 1 times by 1. So that's going to give me 316,000 and looks like 800. Calculator's a little dirty. Couldn't see it look like a 0. That would be feet. And 60 times by 60 is 3,600 seconds. Simplify that. 88 feet per second. Okay, so if you're driving 60 miles an hour, you're traveling 88 feet per second. Okay, so this one's a little bit different because it doesn't have, it's not miles per hour, meters per second. It's just convert 170 centimeters into meters. You still set it up the same way, though you probably won't ultimately need to do this very often because the metric system's so awesome. But this is how you would apply the very same system to something like that. There are 100 centimeters in 1 meter. So you basically have 170 so you 170 meters, 100. And so that's of course going to become 1.7 meters. So that's one way to look at it, but because it's 100, you can also simply just move the decimal point 2 places. That's always going to work. So 1.7, right, there's 100 centimeters in a meter. So once you get to 100 centimeters, that's 1 meter. And then from then on, you just move the decimal point. So like, 1 meter and 10 centimeters, that's just going to be 1.1 meters, right? Which this would be 110 centimeters, right? So you can just move the decimal point 2 places and you get 1.1. So anyway, just that's the nice thing. We can do this backwards. Oh, there's not enough room at the bottom of the screen here, so I'll write it over here. But 5.45 meters, 1 meter is equal to 100 centimeters. So you're just going to get 5.45 times by 100, which is going to give you 545 centimeters. So hopefully those make sense. So on these last two, number 3 and 4, hopefully you can get just good enough at like looking at that and moving the decimal point, because it's either multiply by 100 or divide by 100. But if not, you can always use this system. So hopefully with this small amount of practice, you're feeling better. This should help you with the first couple of problems on the constant velocity algebraic problems. But yeah, sorry we ran out of time to do this in class. Thank you.